Hi, I am Allison Herbster, and I am going to tell you a little bit about what I am proposing for the Lincoln Land plot of land out in Petersburg that was donated to them. Um, I just got a little plan here of what we can do with that. This is the land that is currently owned. We have some alfalfa field here to the east, and we have some to the west. This is the neighboring cornfield to the north. And this is our finger of trees here in the center. And both sides of these kind of just slope right into that. And there's a little waterway here that drains right down into here. There's some current physical stressors, such as the blacktop to the east. There's a road to the west, but there's not much we can do about those. There is a cornfield that's kind of creeping over the property line up north. Of course, there's several slopes, and there's areas that are retaining more moisture than others. Also, we have the invasive flora and fauna. In order to get our project started, we'll need to remove some of the physical stressors that are currently there. Like for the cornfield, we'll have to maybe have a survey done to reclaim the property line. For the slopes, just planting the prairie flora could help slow water flow in these areas. And for the grassy waterway into the east, I would try converting that into a prairie pothole, which would allow the habitat to attract more native fauna as well as providing a water source. The current invasive species that we have out there are some Japanese honeysuckle, some Osage orange trees, common reed, some box elder trees, glossy buckthorn trees, yellow sweet clover, common pokeweed, which is over here, Japanese knotwood, reed canary grass. And here's just a few methods of getting rid of the invasive flora. We can burn it off, we can mow it down. I thought this was kind of funny, but it might just work. It's called goatscaping. Basically, these goats will eat all the invasive flora. And it's chemical free, so that's always a good thing. We could also use some selective herbicide treatments just to kill the flora off. Just to get a better control of it, we'd probably need some help from the neighboring properties to keep up with that, or it will just keep getting out of control. The best long-term solution would be to get the native flora established in our prairie grass lands, so that could outcompete the invasive flora. Here's a few native floras that I had in mind, but obviously not limited to these. Thimbleweed, milkweed, ragweed, aster flowers, black-eyed Susans, wild indigo, hyacinth, purple coneflowers, etc. There's several ways of getting funding for the project. Since it is like a alfalfa field right now, technical farmland, I think we would be able to qualify for the CRP program, which would get us $150 per acre per year. I actually reached out to a few of these local established prairies and just local establishments. Lincoln Memorial Gardens is actually willing to help with some seed donations and just some basic education on what to do with the land. We also have the Audubon Society, and I contacted the Illinois Native Plant Society. They said we could apply for a grant there. And they actually think that we could probably get that, which would be $1,000. So everything will help. Some native fauna in the area. We have white-tailed deer, coyotes, honeybees, of course, wild turkeys, possums, raccoons, red foxes, crickets, earthworms. We could probably get help from the Audubon Society again. Henson Robinson Zoo sometimes has some animals that need to be set back out into the wild. We could set live traps to locate the wild fauna in areas where they're kind of overpopulated, and we could set them off into the new area. And as soon as we get the area set up, I'm sure that they will feed into this area. A little cost-benefit analysis here. Possible purchases. If need be, we'll need to get some plants or seeds, herbicides, construction costs, native tree seeds or saplings, and maybe some labor for people that are looking to help but want to be paid. Some short-term losses would be obviously the alfalfa field profits that they are getting per bushel. Long-term gains, though, would be the CRP funding. We could also get funding if we set up like a native bee habitat. And just knowing you're helping wildlife reestablish itself would just give everybody a sense of pride. I think the indicator species in this area would probably be birds, because they're just easily seen and heard. They have specific habitat requirements and are the first animals to reach a restoration effort. Pictured here, we have the northern cardinal and a little cute indigo bunting. Also, ruby-throated hummingbirds are a good indicator species as well. The keystone species, we have the hummingbird again. They help pollinate, as well as the honeybees. They cross-pollinate and pollinate. White oak trees are good. They are an excellent food source for many birds, mammals, and insects. Coyotes are actually a keystone species also, because they keep the small prey populations down, so those aren't overpopulated. Some ecological benefits of restoration would be protecting the declining grassland birds and native pollinators. They're very crucial. Prairie grasses hold soil in place and absorb water. It would capture carbon, trap sediment, supports pollinators. I already said that. And just having flowers to enjoy, to look at. They're beautiful. Just enjoying watching wildlife in its natural form. Some economic benefits of the restoration would be the tall grass prairies can be planted in poor quality soils, and it would benefit soil erosion, benefit water conservation, and it would create jobs with the process. I have a few restoration options. The first one would be over the course of 7 years, alternating seasonally, planting prairie flora on the east side of the property in the spring, 2 acres per year, and constructing the prairie pothole into the grassy waterway, and planting deciduous trees and shrubs on the west side of the property in that time. For option 2, since the west track is a lot smaller, we could tackle the deciduous forest first, planting the native trees and shrubs 1 acre per year for 4 years, Then start on the east track, converting the grassy waterway into the prairie pothole and planting prairie flora 3 acres at a time for 4 years. And option 3 might be a little unrealistic, but maybe not with the right amount of help. We could accomplish the whole 16 acres at once over the course of approximately 7 to 10 years. Excuse me. And this is a little visual of the final product when finished. We have the prairie pothole here, draining down into that. Just the prairie grass. And here's the little deciduous forest in its full-grown state. And I hope you enjoyed my proposal and hopefully consider it. Thank you.